Okay, so this is the normal layout of the room when I'm doing laser hair removal treatments, but now I have to move the room around. And let me show you how I'm gonna do that. Now, the reason I'm moving the room around is because my next client is a Pro-Cell treatment client. I usually bring in my red light, LED, and so I have to maneuver the bed around. So let me show you. Okay, so let me get my hair out of the way. It's annoying. This is the light stem. This is a Pro Panel, Light Stem Pro Panel. This thing is amazing. It helps with toning and tightening of the skin. I love this thing. And I know I could have gotten a smaller one, but sometimes I feel like go big or go home. I like this because this panel is like you can move it around, you know. It's got the handle and the wheels, so that's the reason why I purchased this one. So I'll do that after the treatment. Normally the way I do it is I'll do the Pro-Cell treatment, microchanneling with Pro-Cell therapies. Then after that, I put the mask on, and then after that, I do the red light. That will help to reduce any inflammation. So I like to have it on the left side. I don't know why. Now we're gonna set up my tray. So this here is the Pro-Cell roll box. So we do microchanneling with Pro-Cell therapy. So it really is just microchanneling. And microchanneling is just a better form of microneedling. So with microchanneling, all you're doing is you're just basically creating, it's like a little mini stomps onto the skin, and you're creating 90-degree channels into the skin. Whereas with microneedling, what you're doing is you're just kind of rubbing the pen as the needles are going up and down, right? You're rubbing that pen all over the face. So it's not just going up and down, you're also scraping. So you're creating more damage than is necessary. And so studies show that it's not necessary to do so much damage, that just creating those 90-degree angles into the skin, you actually get better product penetration, and you also have lesser downtime. So Pro-Cell therapies, or microchanneling with Pro-Cell therapies, you have a 90-minute downtime. I still recommend that the day you get the treatment done, that you don't really do anything to your skin, don't put any makeup on. But if you have to, then as long as you wait after 90 minutes, then you still can put makeup on. So I'll show you basically what it looks like. So here is the device, and it's basically like a tattoo machine, right? And this is the battery that goes attached. And it comes with 2 batteries, of course. You apply the battery there to the back, and here it is. And now let's turn it on. Now it's missing the head piece. So I'll show you what the piece actually looks like. So this head piece, it's covered. This is at 0.5 millimeter, right? So before I even take the cap off, I want to place it into the machine. And now it's in. So if you notice, it'll go back and forth. So you have the low and the high. Okay, so we'll take that off. And then I don't know if you can see the very, very, very fine needles. You see those? See, you can see them sticking up. That's 0.5. And so normally a 0.25 should be enough for most things, but you know, you can go up to 0.50, and normally this is good for like scars, more mature skin, you know, or any loose skin. But you know, I can see the needles through here. Oh, there you go. You can see, right? They're sticking out. That's a 0.50, so 0.25 is smaller. You can see it better here in person, and it doesn't seem like a lot, but That's that you feel the 0.50 more, like a lot more than the 0.25 is a big difference. So what we're doing onto the skin is we're just creating channels, you know. Let me show you what I'm going to place onto the skin. Here is the serum here. So these are growth factors through stem cells, though. These growth factors are obtained through stem cells. And so what we'll do is we will roll this onto the skin first, right? Place that on the skin, and then you're creating the channels onto the skin. And I do about 8 to 10 pulses per area, and then I move to the next, and you're overlapping about 50%. After I'm done with that little area, I'll go on and roll on even more of the serum. Then I'll move to the next spot, roll on, and do the same thing. These are excellent. You have proteins, you have cytokines. I mean, this helps to tone and tighten the skin. It helps with elastin. It helps to build collagen, right? So this ProCell therapies are they're just amazing. They give really excellent results. And normally you do about 3 to 4 treatments, depending on your desired results. And you do the treatments once every 4 weeks. So it's just like you would do like in microneedling, once every 4 weeks. And so you also go home with this. So it's a 2-step process. So after you wash your face in the morning, the next day, not the day of, but after you wash your face in the morning, you do your 2 steps. And I'll show you how it looks. And there is also instructions here in the back of the box, right? So they're labeled basically 1 and 2. Okay, so the box says apply 2 to 3 pumps of the cellular renewal, and this is the cellular renewal number 1. To clean the skin, follow with 2 to 3 pumps of healing accelerator serum. That's it. You put those 2 on in the morning and in the evening. So you don't use anything else. So about a week, for as long as these last, you do not put anything else on your face. You only use these 2. After these are done, then you can go back to your normal skincare routine, really. But I only use these because if you're applying anything else on after, the product tends to like, you'll feel the product almost like coming off, like it can rub off. So just do your 2 to 3 pumps, massage that in, and leave it alone. Don't even rub too much, because if you're rubbing too much, you might feel it like kind of like bunching up and coming out. So and that's basically it. And then you start to see excellent results. And I'm going to show you basically how I set up. Actually, so when we're done with this, we go ahead and use this top again, and the cap, let me take it off, and then I put it in the sharp spin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you basically my setup. Okay, so here is the new tip that I'm going to be using on my client, and here is the ProCell mask that I put on after the treatment. This has a lot of hyaluronic acid in it. It's really good. And that's basically what I'm gonna need. The serum, the mask, and the tips. And then the aftercare is what I need. So I'm gonna basically cover my machine up real quick. So first and foremost, I have the dental bib. I'll put that on my tray. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my machine. I normally put the machine into the bag like this. I'll put it to one corner. And then I'll fold this down. And then I wrap this around. So we're protecting this machine from any bloodborne pathogens. All right, so then we'll wrap it around with this self-adhesive tape. nice and tight, like I pull it nice and tight. And I just finished it. Perfect. Okay, so I need to make sure that this can turn on, that I can twist this. Yep. There you go. It's nice and protected. Then I'll make a little hole here, and then I click the headpiece on. So I'm not going to open, where is it? Okay, so I'm not gonna open this yet. I open it when the client is here and when we're ready to start. So we'll put the face tip here. I'm gonna use a 0.25 on her first. So we'll see how that works out. If anything, I can move up to a 0.50, but I wanna start off, always wanna start off with a 0.25. My Procel mask, the serum here, the Procel serum. I'm gonna put the little aftercare kit onto the tray. Got some micellar water. Now, I may do a light cleanse if she has makeup on. Hopefully she doesn't have, but if she does, I can still do a cleanse, or I'll just use micellar water with my cotton swabs. And let me grab that. Okay, here go my cotton swabs. I'll grab a couple of these. And my hands are washed. I want to make sure that everything is nice and clean before you start messing with all this stuff. I'll grab 3 just in case. So there's 3 here. So I will use some of the micellar water. And after I know that her face is nice and clean, then, where is it? Oh. Then I will use my alcohol pads. Then I rub her face with alcohol. You never want to use alcohol when you're cleaning your face in general, but when we're doing a procedure like this, always use alcohol, because you never know if they have any bacteria on the surface of the skin or any germs or anything like that. And since we're using needles, you don't want to be pushing those into the skin. So always got to use alcohol. I got my pair of gloves here. Numbing, of course. I have several things of numbing, different ones, but these have the same amount of lidocaine. I think it's 5%, but this is a good brand. Here, this is it's got a lot of good reviews. So, but this is the same thing as 5% lidocaine, and I numb 25. I use that as well. So I have a lot of numbing too, because I also do fibroblasts, so I use numbing for that as well. And also I do the lip blush, lip tattoo, and brows. So I gotta have a lot of numbing, so I have more around here. So I'll just use the Numb 25. And then what I do as well, so you're massaging the numbing onto the face, and you have to keep massaging and massaging it into the face until like eventually you feel it getting sticky, like to the gloves. That's when you know it's in there. And then, so I do that. And then after that, I put them under the red light, because the red light helps to absorb faster. So I'll put them under the red light for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes so it can absorb faster, because usually you have to leave these on, the numbing on, for like 20 minutes. So I just shorten the time that it's on by putting the red light. So that's a little tip. And I'll show you what the tray looks like. All right, let's see. All right, so this is what my tray is looking like. Right there, my numbing, cotton swabs, alcohol, micellar water, the serum, the tips, the mask, gloves, and the machine. We're pretty much prepped. And then on the bed, so I do have this, but this cover I normally use for my laser hair removal clients. So I'm going to put another cover on top of this that will protect it even more, because since we're dealing with blood, well, we're not really dealing with blood. With a 0.25, she's really not going to have any pinpoint bleeding, really. But still, it's better to be safe than sorry. So I could put this white one, but I got one that's pink. So, and I don't usually use pink. You know, my colors are green. I wish they had green, but I'll show you this bed protector. So this is like a non-woven fabric for these beds. I don't have to put it on the whole bed. So let's just have it right up here. So it's a double. And the pillow has a plastic over it. Then we have this. So I also have barrier tape. You want to use barrier tape anytime you're dealing with needles on the skin. Barrier tape. So I'm going to put barrier tape on. I have plastic on the red light, but here is the barrier tape. So anytime you're dealing with needles or whatever, if you know you're going to be touching something often during the procedure, you want to make sure. I'm going to put it right on here. You want to make sure you're putting that barrier tape to protect against cross-contamination, okay? So I normally grab it from here, or I'll grab it from this side at times. So I'll put one there, and then I will put a few on the red light. There you go, my barrier tape. So there you go. There you have it. I'm ready and prepared for the Microchanneling Pro Cell services. And this machine right here, that's my baby right there. The Splendor X by Luminous, the best laser hair removal machine on the market. The most comfortable, okay? My little sharps container. It fits. So it's the end of the day for me. Normally when I do Pro Cell treatments, any of the facial treatments, I like to do them, like I like to save them last for towards the end of the day because, you know, moving the room around like this is time consuming. So I like it to be the last thing that I do. Because laser is just really quick. Alcohol. This is my best friend. I use it on everything. So normally I will leave this light, stim light, at home. Because to have this here in the room, it just takes up a lot of space in general, and I can't be moving stuff around. Like I can't just be having I can't have too much in this room. I still clean these, you know, even though they were covered. I clean everything. I clean everything. Like my iPad, like any and everything. Like the counter, I mean, you name it. This is what I'm talking about. So anything with like it's like cavicide basically. This one's Opticide, but Opticide, cavicide, same thing. You should not use this. You shouldn't touch it without gloves. I mean, because if you use these things without gloves, I mean, touching this constantly without gloves, you can get eventually like some sort of cancers and stuff. So you have to be extremely careful. So, I forgot this. So the goal is to eventually get another room, a second room. And the second room would be for, this one would just stay the laser room. The other room would be for when I'm doing Procel, when I'm doing Fibroblast, when I'm doing lip blush and the brows. Because, you know, having to bring the red light, and when I'm doing the tattoos, I have a big, huge ring light that bends over the clients, and I bring that in when I'm doing that. So having to move stuff back and forth, then it's a little tedious. But for now, you know, it'll do. So I used these on her face. Let me tell you, these right here are amazing. So you put it in the fridge, the freezer, whatever, make sure they're nice and cold. And while she had the mask on, before I took off the mask, I started, you know, putting these on her face, and they're nice and cold, and she loved it. Everyone that I use this on absolutely loved it. They love it. You know, and she was like, oh, well, she's like, I need these, you know, that's gonna help with my migraine. And it's just so refreshing too, while you have that mask on and you feel this cold. These are really amazing. And I mean, they're cute, they really are, but they're amazing. So I use those on my facials. Well, I only do a microdermabrasion facial, a luxury microdermabrasion facial. So I don't really do any other facials because I don't have time for facials because I have a lot of laser clients. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna rinse these in hot water. And then oh my God, they're glass. To make sure I don't drop them. And I'll spray it with some alcohol. So yeah, these little bad boys are amazing. These are like, they're called ice globe massagers. And they're really just relaxing and alleviating. And this is really good to, especially for after you're doing something like Procel, and you have a nice little mask on, because when you're doing, you know, or microchanneling, right? Or microneedling, when you're doing something intense to the face, because this just helps to kind of alleviate it, because sometimes your face can feel like on fire. Not on fire, but like, you know, with all the, after the procedure, you know, your face is gonna be red. And so putting something cool on it is really nice. Now the mask that I use is really cool. It is. But then using this is amazing. So put it in the fridge. So for the most part, everything is clean. And yes, that was my Procel treatment. It's really relaxing. After I do the treatment, I put on the mask. They'll sit in the mask for 20 minutes. And then after that, I do red light therapy to help reduce any extra inflammation and tone and tighten the skin. So by the time the client leaves, they're just lightly pink. Sometimes they're not pink at all, and some people just still lightly pink, but they're not as red or inflamed or anything like that. So, which is good. So you can still go out and do whatever. Like there's really no downtime. There's a 90-minute downtime for putting any makeup on your skin, but you can go back to work after your procedure. So thank you so much for watching my video.